It's 3:12 a.m. Again. You stare at the ceiling, your heart tapping a rhythm that doesn't match the silence of the night. Your thoughts are like a swarm of bees, loud, restless, and impossible to swat away. You try breathing slowly, you try not thinking, but nothing works. You haven't had a full night of restful sleep in weeks, and in the quiet of the dark, you wonder, what's wrong with me? You're not alone. According to the World Health Organization, over 301 million people worldwide suffer from anxiety disorders, and the numbers keep rising, especially in adults over 35. Sleepless nights, racing hearts, that constant tightness in your chest like something terrible is about to happen. The inability to focus, memory lapses that make you feel like you're losing your mind. What if I told you that much of this suffering, this daily internal war, isn't just about stress or overthinking? What if part of the problem is something you're not doing? Here's the truth. Your brain is a living electrical organ. It needs raw materials to stay calm, focused, and emotionally stable. But most anxious people are unknowingly starving their brains. And not just with poor food choices, but with missing nutrients, deficiencies that silently increase cortisol, destabilize blood sugar, and block the production of calming neurotransmitters like GABA and serotonin. Every time you skip a balanced meal, every time you reach for caffeine instead of real nourishment, you're not just feeding your anxiety, you're locking yourself into it. Here's the good news. It doesn't take a pharmacy to change that. Nature has already provided us with powerful, calming, brain-supportive combinations. In this video, I'm going to reveal 7 natural vitamin smoothies, simple, delicious blends made with ingredients you probably already have in your kitchen, that are scientifically proven to help soothe anxiety, reduce stress hormones, support mental clarity, and even improve your sleep quality. These aren't just healthy drinks. They're biochemical support systems in a glass. And once you understand how each one works, you'll never look at food the same way again. Imagine this. A moment in your afternoon when instead of reaching for coffee or collapsing into exhaustion, you sip something cold, creamy, and calming. And within 20 minutes, your chest feels lighter. Your brain stops spinning. Your breath slows. And you remember what it feels like to feel safe inside your own body. Or picture this. Your evening routine, where instead of lying in bed restless, your nervous system begins to wind down naturally. You sleep deeper, wake up clearer, and the day doesn't feel like a threat anymore. This is possible, and it starts with what you put in your blender. You drink your herbal tea, you avoid junk food, you even take deep breaths when you remember, but your heart still races, your mind still spins, and you still wake up more tired than when you went to sleep. What no one tells you is that anxiety doesn't only come from what you feel, it comes from what your body is missing. Or worse, what it's quietly being overloaded with. Here's the hidden truth. One of the most overlooked causes of chronic anxiety, especially in people over 35, is nutrient depletion, a silent villain made worse by modern habits we think are healthy. Let's start with the morning. You wake up, still foggy from a poor night's sleep, and you reach for something light. Maybe just coffee. Maybe a slice of toast or fruit. It feels gentle, harmless. But to your nervous system, it's chaos. Coffee spikes cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone. A piece of fruit without protein or fat causes a rapid blood sugar spike. And what goes up must crash. That crash, even if you don't notice it, activates adrenaline. Your heart flutters. You feel uneasy. You say it's just stress. But your biochemistry is screaming for stability. Then there's the so-called healthy lunch. Maybe a salad with low-fat dressing, maybe a smoothie with too much fruit and no grounding ingredients. You think you're being mindful. But without magnesium, vitamin B6, healthy fats, and calming amino acids, your brain can't make serotonin, can't make GABA, can't calm down. Even relaxing nighttime habits betray you. That chamomile tea you sip might be soothing, but what if you're pairing it with a sweet biscuit or a light snack full of refined carbs? Your blood sugar spikes again. And by the time you lie in bed, your insulin and cortisol are wrestling in the dark, keeping your nervous system on high alert. The problem isn't just what you eat. It's how incomplete it is for your brain's specific needs. People with anxiety need more magnesium, more vitamin C, more omega-3s, more B-complex vitamins, more tryptophan and tyrosine to build calming neurotransmitters. But most anxious people are living on diets that deplete these exact nutrients without realizing it. And the brain, desperate for regulation, keeps firing alarms. Racing thoughts, shallow breathing, tight chest, irritability, memory fog. Not because you're weak, but because you're running on empty. That's the silent villain, chronic nutritional misalignment. And it's why these next 7 vitamin smoothies aren't just recipes. They're quiet revolutions for your nervous system. Her name is Lauren Mitchell. She's 42 years old, lives in Portland, Oregon, and used to work as a marketing consultant for wellness brands. On the outside, Lauren looked like the image of health. She drank green tea, avoided fast food, and kept up with yoga videos every other night. But on the inside, her body was unraveling. Lauren had always been a little anxious. She called it high-functioning stress. But things changed after her divorce. She began having trouble sleeping. At first, it was just occasional restlessness. Then it became 3 a.m. wake-ups, night after night, heart pounding, soaked in sweat. Her thoughts were electric. Every little task felt like a mountain. She tried to stay in control the only way she knew how. Routine. Every morning, she started her day with a tall glass of lemon water, a banana smoothie with almond milk and a scoop of acai, and a cup of green tea. Then she'd get to work. But by 2 p.m., her hands were trembling. Her thoughts felt foggy, like she was underwater. She couldn't remember simple words in meetings. Her chest felt tight, like something invisible was pressing down. She blamed it on stress, on being a single mom, on too many deadlines. So she doubled down, added melatonin drops at night, switched to decaf, even cut sugar completely. But nothing helped. One afternoon, Lauren fainted in the checkout line at the grocery store. Her son, 10 years old, was with her. It was the scariest moment of her life. She was rushed to urgent care. Her blood pressure was erratic. Her blood sugar had dropped sharply. The doctors ran every test. Everything's normal, they said. But Lauren didn't feel normal. She felt like she was breaking from the inside. It wasn't until she met with a clinical nutritionist that the truth came to light. Her morning smoothie, though packed with antioxidants, was triggering massive cortisol spikes due to the fruit's sugar load without balancing fats or protein. Her lemon water, meant to cleanse, was leaving her stomach more acidic and her digestion impaired. The green tea, even with less caffeine, was overstimulating her already exhausted adrenals. Worse, she was severely deficient in magnesium, vitamin B6, and omega-3s, key players in calming neurotransmitter production and nervous system regulation. The smoothie she thought was helping her? It was actually one of the biggest contributors to her symptoms. That night, she cried. Not out of fear, but relief. Relief that she wasn't crazy, that there was a reason her body felt hijacked, that maybe, just maybe, she could find her way back to calm. Her healing didn't come from prescriptions. It came from rebuilding her internal foundation, starting with one vitamin-rich, calming smoothie each afternoon designed to nourish her depleted brain instead of overload it. Lauren still has anxious moments, but she sleeps through the night now. She laughs more. She remembers things again. And most of all, she doesn't feel like she's fighting her own body anymore. What happened to Lauren isn't rare. It's biologically predictable. To understand anxiety, you have to look beyond emotions and dive into your nervous system. At the center of it all is the brain's alarm system, the amygdala. It scans for danger constantly. When it senses a threat, real or imagined, it sends a signal to release cortisol and adrenaline. Your heart races. Your breath shortens. Your pupils dilate. You feel like running, freezing, or screaming. This is helpful in an emergency. But in chronic anxiety, the amygdala becomes overactive. It starts reacting to everyday events as if they were life-threatening. That email, that phone call, that silence in the middle of the night. But here's the twist. The amygdala doesn't just react to thoughts. It also reacts to physical signals from your body. When your blood sugar crashes, when your brain is low on magnesium, when your neurotransmitter levels are unstable, your body feels unsafe, and your amygdala panics. Imagine trying to concentrate while your brain is on fire from inflammation, or trying to relax when your nervous system is stuck in on mode. That's what nutritional anxiety looks like. Let's break it down even further. 1. Blood sugar swings. Your brain needs a steady supply of glucose to function. When you eat a high-sugar fruit smoothie without fat or protein, your blood sugar spikes, and then crashes. That crash mimics a threat. Your body releases adrenaline to compensate. You feel shaky, panicked, dizzy. Many people confuse this with a panic attack when it's really biochemical instability. 2. Magnesium deficiency. Magnesium is a calming mineral. It regulates the parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest mode. Without it, your muscles tense, your heartbeat becomes erratic, and your sleep cycles are disrupted. Studies show that low magnesium levels are directly linked to higher cortisol levels and anxiety symptoms. 3. B vitamins, especially B6, B12, and folate.